Lagos State Government and Nigeria Police Force have begun probe into the case of unlawful lovemaking allegedly committed by an executive director of Asset and Resource Management, holding company after he allegedly forced a female staff in the Human Resources Department of the pension company to an undisclosed hotel and slept with her forcefully without her consent. The suspect was arrested earlier in the month, but police said the suspect was released on bail on medical grounds based on advice from a medical doctor. The victim alleged that shortly after she was raped, she went for HIV test and she was placed on after sexual exposure HIV drugs. The executive director with ARM Pensions, Abisola Onibogi, accused of rape by a female colleague, Ogochukwu Odogu, was released after he fell ill in police custody, according to the Lagos State Police Command spokesperson. The police spokesperson, Benjamin Hundeyin, almost fortnight ago said that the suspect was released on medical grounds. Whenever we need him, he will come from home, but for now, he needs to take good care of himself. He fell ill and was taken to the hospital, where he spent 3 days, after which the doctor advised that he should be allowed to rest well. So he was released on bail to go home and rest. On the 30th of July, the pension in a press release said its executive director of technical affairs, Abisola Onibogi, who was accused of raping a female colleague, has been placed on administrative leave amid a probe into the case by the organization. The victim had, in a post that went viral in late July, had accused Onibogi of abducting her after an office party, driving her to a hotel, and sexually assaulting her on July 18, 2024. The pension company, in a statement posted on its social media accounts, said it was aware of the serious allegation of assault that involved its employees, describing it as deeply disturbed, and promised to tackle the situation with the utmost seriousness and sensitivity. Sexual assault is a grave matter that has no place in our organization and society at large, and we stand firmly against all forms of harassment or violence. This incident reportedly took place outside the office premises on the night of July 18, 2024, after an office team bonding event and involved 2 of our colleagues, the company said. According to the female employee who requested for Onibogi's arrest in a report to the company's management, the director had taken her to a hotel after a team bonding event in Lagos instead of her house, which was said to be the initial plan. On the evening of the office party, just like every other staff member at the party, I had food and drinks. I had mixed a small amount of Jameson whiskey and Coke. This whiskey bottle was opened by a colleague on the table I was seated with other colleagues. However, being part of the planning committee, I had to stand up from my table at intervals to coordinate the serving of food and at such times left my drink, food and other personal effects in the care of another colleague, name withheld, who is a colleague and one I am very friendly with. My last memory of the party was at about 7:30. However, this my close friend, colleague claimed that I mentioned to her that I was tipsy and could not drive. So, she offered to find a way for me to go home and then approached Abisola Onibogi to drop me off since he lived around the same axis as mine. I reside in Lekki, along with the Jameson whiskey, which was like 1/4 of a plastic cup. I had 1 cocktail from the bar. That is the last I remembered. I lost total memory of every conversation and activity, as my last memory of the night was from 7:30 p.m. My entire memory was wiped out, which was very unusual even for someone who might have drunk excessively, which I didn't, and have quite a good alcohol tolerance from precedents. Next thing I know, I wake up and realize I am in a room fully undressed. I look around and I realize it was a hotel. Meanwhile, the Executive Secretary, Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency, DSVA, Mrs. Titilola Bible Adeniyi, in a statement on Sunday, according to Vanguard newspaper, said, "We are working with the Lagos State Police Command for the investigation and ensuring the survivor is accessing holistic support." She vowed that the state government would ensure justice is served over the unfortunate incident. The executive director, ED Technical and Pension, was accused of abducting and raping the 36-year-old Ogochukwu Odogu, formerly known as Temitayo Omota. The victim said she was adopted by one Abisola Onibogi of Pension, Mikuim Road, off Oyinkon Abayomi Drive, Ikoyi, and had carnal knowledge of her in the process, without her consent, on the night of July 18, 2024, after an office party at a hotel, and left her naked with her private parts bruised. The single mother of two in a social media post narrated how she was adopted from a party organized by the office and was taken some kilometers away to one of the hotels, names withheld, at Chevron Drive, Lekki, Lagos, where she was raped atrociously. I checked the time, it was around 3 a.m. and my private parts were sore and felt like someone had invaded me. I walked out of the room, looked around for a clue of the name of the hotel to even have a sense of where I was. I saw the name of the hotel, I googled it and I found that it's on Chevron Drive. I asked the receptionist and security man to help me get a taxi so I can go home. I further checked my WhatsApp messages and I saw that Absiola, the perpetrator, had sent me a message that he was with my laptop bag and ID card. Damilola had sent me a couple of messages that sounded frantic, wanting to know if I was okay and if Abisola dropped me at home. I sent her a message to tell her that I don't understand why my memory is wiped out and it's unusual. When it was morning, I tried to call Abisola twice and he didn't pick. I messaged him that I'd like to talk to him and shortly after he called me. When he called, I asked him how I ended up in a hotel since I was in his car as my colleague said, and he was to drop me at my home in Lekki. He said he asked me for my address and I was incoherent and so he took me to that hotel. I further asked why I was naked when I woke up and he said he didn't know and that he just dropped me and left. I later spoke to my colleagues, Damilola and Odera, because I needed to find my car and I was told that my car was safe in the office. Damilola further mentioned that she sent videos of me and her dancing at the party to Abisola as he requested her to. I have no recollection of her making any video except for some pictures we had earlier taken at the start of the party, an 11-second video. However, she shared videos with me this morning of me and her dancing and another colleague was in the video. Again, my memory is blanked out on this. I messaged Absiola later on Friday morning to ask how I could get my laptop bag and ID card and he said he had given the security guards in the office to put it in my car. I went back to the hotel that Friday morning after I dropped off my kids at school and I asked to see the CCTV footage to ascertain when he brought me there and if he really just left after dropping me. The receptionist first confirmed that he paid for the hotel room at 10:05 p.m., showed me evidence and then went ahead to show me the footage. I was seen leaning on him and he was holding my shoes and a hand on my back guiding me into the hotel and hotel room at about 3:52 p.m. and was seen leaving at 5:36 p.m. Now this time I am quoting is because the CCTV time in the hotel was not West African time, but the time interval was about 1 hour 45 minutes he was in the hotel room with me. I called my family and informed them of this. I have had a rep kit test done at Island Maternity on Friday. I made a formal report at the Ikoyi police station on Saturday morning. My private part was bruised and I have been in pain. I have also formally reported to the head of HR, who is my boss, with the MD and another executive director in copy. My life has been disrupted badly. I am a single mother with 2 kids and my mental and physical state has been impacted by this incident and I need to take care and show up for my kids in all of this. I sent him another message that Friday morning asking why he didn't ask Dami or any of my other colleagues for my address if truly he had the intention to drop me at my house, which he had no response to. I did not remotely have any conversation with Abisola Onigbogi or give any consent to be involved with him in any remotely personal way. He asked me at the party to come sit with him and I refused and sat with my colleagues who I was comfortable with. He took me against my will, most likely spiked my drink with the help of someone or by himself and took me to a destination I didn't know or want to be and raped me. It is beyond sad that I could not be safe at an office function and instead my whole world has been overturned. I am on some very strong medication given to me at Island Maternity, antibiotics and HIV post-exposure prophylaxis, and I have requested some time from work to recuperate. I believe he is a serial rapist and I might not be the first person he would have done this to. I am requesting that Lagos State take this case up fully and this predator who has tried to ruin my life and cause me this trauma be prosecuted to the full extent of the law, he and whoever aided him, she said.
OsazuwaAkonedo, bringing you the news in a more digital way.